I recently went on a little bit of a holiday and visited my grandparents. And while I was there, they gave me this. This is a 2015 MacBook Pro. I say gave, basically my granddad was about to throw it away and I said, oh, I'll have that. I'll do something with it. And I was planning to kind of do a little bit of a video of, the usual thing. Let's install some Linux, let's have some fun. But there is a little bit of a problem with this one. So unfortunately, part of the screen is completely dead on this side. Basically, this whole strip here is completely dead. I think this happened in travel. I think it was working when I picked it up, and then by the time I got it home, it's died, which is a shame. So instead, we are going to do something a little bit different, and we're going to create a headless Mac and see what it's like using a MacBook Pro without its screen and completely removing it. This is actually something I've wanted to do for a while now, just never really had the hardware to do it. Kind of always seems silly to do it with a machine that has a working screen. So to finally have something that does have a broken screen does mean that I have an opportunity to do this. And, it's a pretty decent little machine. It's actually the maximum spec from the time. So it's got a dual core i7 processor. It's got 16 gigabytes of RAM and it's got a 1 terabyte drive. So there's lots of computer in there. Everything else about the machine is fully functional. So yeah, don't want to throw it away. I want to make use of it in some way. And one of those things I love is that kind of retro design of having a keyboard with a computer built into it, much like the Commodore 64 that's up there that still needs repairing. But this idea of just having this kind of fairly smaller than a laptop, lightweight machine that you can kind of just plug into a monitor and use. And obviously it being based on a laptop means it's also got a battery. So in theory, you have some battery life there as well. So you can literally just plug it into a monitor. It's also kind of an interesting idea for a home server. There's no reason why you couldn't do that. You don't need the screen if you're going to run like a headless server. And again, you've got that battery backup. So it's kind of a useful thing for a server as well. Anyway, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to get the screen disconnected and removed, and then we're going to check out installing macOS and see how that behaves. And maybe we'll have a look at Linux as well if we're not happy with the end result from macOS. I'm hoping though that we can just keep macOS on here for now, because I think that would be kind of cool. But anyway, first things first, we need to take this thing apart and we need to get that screen gone. So that is the two halves apart. Kind of actually very easy to do on this age of Mac, I must admit. The only problem we do have is that you might have noticed, of course, the Wi-Fi antenna go into the main housing of this. So one option we have is to just not have Wi-Fi particularly and focus just on Ethernet, which for a server would be perfectly fine. But I'm kind of tempted to see if we can get into this and get out the cables. So we can at least kind of put them inside somewhere. And yes, it's a metal housing, so the Wi-Fi signal isn't going to be amazing, but we might be able to at least get some signal. Yeah, having said that, of course, this is quite a closed unit, so I don't know. I'm going to have a little look and we'll see where we get to. Of course, the plus side is this is already broken, so if I break it further, who cares? We've got the main bit, the most important bit. So yeah, all right, let's see what we can do to get into this. Just popping in to say, if you do love creating weird and wonderful computer things, please do consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button. We're still a very small channel. Every single subscription makes a huge, huge difference. And of course, if you want to support even further, do check out my Patreon or YouTube memberships. Thank you very much, and on with the video. So unfortunately, after a little bit of prying and what have you, I did get the Wi-Fi antenna out, but the connection snapped. So obviously I've got all the cabling here. I've got the pin still, so I could splice these back together, and that will probably give us a better signal-ish if I can then kind of put them inside here somewhere. But we're going to try it without the cables first, just to see if we get any kind of strength. I do have a Thunderbolt to Ethernet adapter, so it being Wi-Fi, not having Wi-Fi isn't the end of the world. All right, that is everything back together. Like I say, currently without the Wi-Fi antenna, so we'll have to see how that works. But yeah, let's fire it up and see if it works. Okay, so it's a few days later, and we got macOS 13 or macOS Ventura installed, no problem at all. This is one version newer than is officially supported on the system, so we used OpenCore. And I think it just gives a good balance of being new enough that everything still kind of works, and old enough that it's not a huge drain on the system. It kind of does still work really quite nicely. Worth noting as well, once you've removed that screen, everything works over HDMI. So even booting into recovery or trying to play about with like your boot options and stuff, that all displays over HDMI. So there's no issue there, which is really great, because some laptops kind of expect there to be an internal screen for obvious reasons, but it does limit your ability to make this kind of mod. With this MacBook though, that is not the case, and it works absolutely perfectly. I might actually also dual boot this with Windows, just because I don't currently have a Windows machine. So again, another use case for it. Be useful to have some sort of Windows machine knocking about in those odd situations that I might actually need it. They're not very often, but it does happen, that's for sure. In terms of performance and like actually using this thing, I mean, it works really well. It works just like basically a Mac Mini, but with a keyboard built in and a mouse, a trackpad built in. Things like watching YouTube videos, it has no problem. Playing 1080p, yeah, you shouldn't be doing anything else at the same time. Like, this is not a multitasking system, but for single use kind of things, one at a time, this works perfectly fine. And yeah, no problem running 1080p YouTube here. You can also do a little bit of light gaming. I tried out a little bit of Minecraft, and yeah, I mean, it's not the most stable FPS, and we are very, very much in the era with this machine of Intel iGPUs absolutely sucking. Yeah, it's terrible in terms of graphics performance, really. So definitely try to stick to like 2D games or really light 3D games. You could get away with playing Minecraft like this. It's not the end of the world, but generally speaking, it's just not the greatest in that regard, because it has such a weak iGPU. But for normal kind of web browsing, for kind of using maybe you know, a document writer, homework, kind of like basic computing tasks, checking emails, all that sort of thing, this works absolutely perfectly, and is honestly a brilliant way to repurpose an old MacBook. If you have one laying around, it's got a damaged screen, you're probably thinking about just throwing it away. Don't. Remove the screen, and it works perfectly as a small desktop type computer that is still portable, that you just do literally just have to plug into an HDMI. It has battery. I'm getting a solid 6 hours of battery life when playing like 1080p video back, so it's not as amazing battery life as the kind of Apple figures of the time, and I've not really been able to find like real world battery stats for it, but I think that's still pretty good going really for a computer that's now 11 years old. So generally speaking, a lot of life still in this, and a huge fan of it. Like I said, it's also been a few days later, so I did get some bits in to have a play with the Wi-Fi. Fortunately, I got the wrong bits, but still, I can show you my intentions here, and then I will probably release some sort of short over on my YouTube channel or TikTok, just kind of outlining what I did in the end to finalize the mod, but this is what I'm envisioning. It's also apparently a perfect cat bed by the seams of it. He's obviously enjoying the fact that it's getting quite warm. Unfortunately, we are going to have to move him to do some testing. Okay, so we're back inside, and yeah, I just wanted to show you what I've got. It's basically these Wi-Fi antennas that have a teeny tiny little clip that goes onto the actual Wi-Fi card, and on the other end has a full-size kind of screw-on antenna, if you like. So the idea here is that we can run this cable from here into where the hinge meets, so that if we do that now, you can see that that fits in there really quite nicely, gives you enough room to screw on the thing, and obviously you can then put two of them in that kind of configuration. And that's what I'm thinking in terms of Wi-Fi. Now, it won't use the 3 antennas that this chip supports, so you won't get the full speed, but it would be enough speed and it would look really quite clean. It covers up the holes for the hinge that will be there, and yeah, it just works really nicely. The problem is, of course, well, not of course, the problem is the cable that I've got is kind of the wrong size for both sides. It's not long enough, it doesn't quite reach, it only goes there for this side, and it's kind of too long for this side because you end up with a whole bunch of cable, which obviously I could stick down somewhere, but it's just annoying. So I am going to buy some new cables, one which is much smaller, one which is much longer, and they also need to get some antennas because I thought I had some and I don't. But yeah, that's the plan with the Wi-Fi, and I think that's going to give a really clean look, but still give you good Wi-Fi signal. So like, you know, it's both functional and aesthetic. So yeah, do check out kind of a short that I'll be producing on that, just so you can see the update there. But that's all I'm kind of planning with the Wi-Fi. So there we have it, one Halfbook or headless laptop or whatever you want to call it, one MacBook that's been resurrected and saved and is still entirely usable and will actually kind of go into my collection of useful devices when I just need another computer to do a single task or something like that. Not to mention, of course, there is the opportunity here to build a very lightweight server. I mean, you can install Linux on this thing, no problem at all. We haven't done that here, but we definitely could. And it would work, no problem at all, as a simple server, serving files, serving maybe Plex, other lightweight applications and stuff, no problem at all. And yeah, with that Thunderbolt Ethernet, that would work. And of course, you then have the joy of it having a backup battery. So if power failed at any point, your server survives, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I really love this thing. I like the design. I think it's come out quite clean, and we get those Wi-Fi antenna on either side, I think it'll actually look pretty cool as well. Yeah, huge fan of this. So hope you've enjoyed this video. I've certainly enjoyed putting it together. I think this was a fun little project, that we kind of tangent that we went down. And yeah, I'll see you again for another video very, very soon. Bye for now.